So what should you do if you feel like you're being bullied at work? Well, the first thing you should do is to talk to someone about it, whether that be a friend or a relative or someone you trust at work, just to get a bit of a sense check from them as to their thoughts and feelings about the behaviour that you're experiencing. Now, if you feel that it is something that you cannot resolve yourself with the person who is bullying you, then it's important to raise it with your line manager, or if it's about your line manager, to their manager or to HR. Now, hopefully your employer will have a policy in place to deal with either grievances or an anti-bullying and harassment policy, which will set out what the process is for dealing with it. Now, if your employer doesn't have a policy in place, then the best thing to do is to have a look for the grievance procedure. If they don't have a grievance procedure, then speak to somebody who deals with HR or in management to see what the process is to raise an issue in relation to bullying. But it's important that you set out exactly what's happening, how you feel about it, how it's making you feel, and what the outcome is that you want from this. Now, if the bullying is in relation to a protected characteristic, so that is something to do with race, religion, sex, disability, all of those sorts of things, then you may have a separate legal claim if your employer doesn't act quickly to deal with the issue. Now, bullying as of itself doesn't give rise to a specific type of claim, but if your employer fails to deal with it in an appropriate way, or the bullying continues, or the bullying is being undertaken by somebody who is in a senior position in the organisation, then you may have a claim for constructive unfair dismissal. That's just a really quick summary of how to deal with bullying, but the main things to know are: 1, speak to somebody to get a sense check for what's happening, to see what they feel about it and if they agree that it's something that you should raise further. 2, wherever possible, deal with the individual directly and speak to them to try to resolve it. 3, if you can't resolve it with the individual, then raise it via the bullying policy or the grievance procedure to have it looked into by someone else in the organisation. And 4, if it's not resolved swiftly and it continues, then you should act quickly to ensure that you preserve your legal rights, as you may have a basis of claim.